So my dear student, this is my first lecture about the profitability. Okay. So if you will see in the GATE examination, from this topic each and every year we used to get 2 to 3 marks question every year. It's mandatory. Okay. And some question, one question or two question that has been used to ask from either depreciation or the previous topics, that is a comparison of the cost. Okay, so it is one of the important topic. Just try to understand, and I am going to explain this in a very beautiful way. Understand the profitability. Okay, so if you will think the profitability, generally most of the people think about the meaning of profitability is generally related about the profit only, but it's not like that. It's a little bit different thing. Okay, so I am going to explain these things. Okay, now if you will see the definition of profitability, then the definition of profitability says it's not only maximizing the profit. It's we have to focus in the profitability that maximizing the return. How much money we have invested, that we have to take in our pocket, and up to which time and in which at what rate that is going to come to us. That's major concern in the profitability. Okay, so if you will see the word profitability is used as the general term for the measurement of the amount of the profit that can be obtained from a given investment or for a given capital for any industry. Just understand one thing: if you are going to invest some amount of money, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs rupees for any organization or for any industry, okay, that's up to this point, that's okay. It doesn't mean that only you are going to invest money and you want to be, you want to be thinking about your return. Okay, definitely, whenever you used to invest money on any plan or any project, then definitely there will be something that will be going in your mind that up to what time or up to which rate and how much amount of profit that can be obtained from this investment. Okay, that's the major concern. Or without any return, why will we investing any amount or any capital for any project? That's the major concern. If you are going to invest any amount or for any capital for any project, then definitely first thing that will be thinking about that you will be thinking in your mind that definitely I will get some amount of return from this capital that will be used to invest the money. Okay, so that was the major concern here. Now, if you will see, before capital is invested in the project, it's an obligation to know how much amount of net profit that can be obtained whenever or not. It might be more advantageous to invert the capital in another form of the enterprise. Understand one thing: what used to happen if you are going to plan about investment or for any capital, there will be 3 to 4 ideas that will be running parallelly in your mind, that if we are going to invest that much amount of capital here, that much amount of capital in some another way, that much amount of capital in some another way, you will be thinking differently that how much money or how much profit that can be obtained from first project. The same capital you are going to invest, there some people you will be thinking that up to what year we will get the invested amount, we will get the return of the invested amount. Okay, so or some people will be thinking parallelly that in which rate we will be getting the return from that capital investment. Okay, so there are so many things that will be going in your mind, that up to what year, in which rate, or how much profit that can be obtained from the given investment. Okay, so in that judgment becomes very intriguing there. Okay, because it will be very ambiguous for you. Okay, in which way we have to invest the capital and where we have to invest the capital. Because if you will think for any investment, what used to happen there, if you just understand one thing, you are going to invest 5 lakhs for any plan. Okay, 5 lakhs for any capital for any project. Okay, understand one thing, and you are thinking the profit. Okay, so because after 5 years you think that some profit we will get or some return we will get from this project. Okay, it's okay. Up to this year, these things, it's okay. Now understand one thing: each and every year, just first year, second year, third year, fourth year, the value of money is gonna be changed. Each and every year, the value of money changes. Okay, because already you all know the time value of money, I think. Okay, and if you don't know, then definitely I will tell you the time value of money in this topic. Okay, because we have to study this topic. Okay, so each and every year the time value of money used to change. So each and every year the profit is gonna be changed. And if the profit is gonna be changed, definitely that will strike in your mind that after 5 years how much amount of profit you are getting. Okay, because inflation deflation is a natural phenomenon. It has to occur every year. Okay, because this is totally related to amount of the value of money. Okay, because if the value of money is going to be changed, then definitely the profit is going to be changed for any product. So you can't only think about profit. Okay, only thinking about profit is very difficult thing, and in that situation you have to go on the some another parameters, and there are various parameters that we have to study in this profitability topic. Okay, that's why we used to study the profitability. Okay, I think up to this point you all are clear now. Now understand one thing, we have to work on a project as a design engineer, because we are a chemical engineer. Okay, and as a chemical engineer we will be working on a project, and due to this particular reason, as a design engineer we have to deal with the capital investment, and if you are dealing with the capital investment, then you have to think whole thing about the amount of capital we are going to invest it, and how much money or how much profit we will be getting, how much time it will take to give us a return from that capital investment. Okay, these things that you have to deal in the when you are working as a design engineer. Okay, so these things will come in your mind. So now understand one thing, due to deflation or inflation, profit is gonna be changed. If profit is gonna be changed, then definitely you can't rely on only profit for the investment. If you are because if you are only thinking about, yes, this much amount of profit I have to get, this much amount of profit I have to get, so you have to understand up to what year or which rate you will get the profit. That's the major concern here, and the solution of this problem that is given by the profitability. Okay, my dear student, if you will think in the profitability, we used to study about two things. Okay, and because this profitability has set various parameters, and in various parameters we used to study two things. One, that used to give the time value of money, and that is not reliable on the time value of money. Okay, so I am just going to define the term profitability. Just understand one thing, I am just selecting two projects. Okay, I am just selecting two projects, project A and project B. If you will think now for capital, understand one thing, capital. Here I have invested 10,000 rupees on project A, and I have invested 20,000 rupees on the project B. Now, profit per year. Here profit per year we are getting 10,000, and here profit per year we are getting 15,000. Okay, these two things you will see. Now understand one thing, what is difference in here between these two projects, and in which way we will be thinking about the profitability. How profitability will help us to compare the better investment, which will be the better investment for the for our project. Okay, because if you are going to invest 10,000 rupees and 20,000 rupees, then definitely you will be thinking which will be the best. Because understand one thing, I am just taking here 5,000 only. Okay, 5,000 or just 15,000, just it's okay now. Understand one thing, here capital is 10,000, here project B for B capital is 20,000. Here you are getting per year 10,000 rupees per profit per year, and here you are getting 15,000 rupees profit per year. Okay, now understand one thing. So if you will see only profit per year, then definitely project B will be more important. Project B will be more attractive. I think project B will be more attractive. Why? Because it's giving 15,000 rupees per year as a profit, and project A is less attractive. Why? Because it is giving only 10,000 rupees every year as a profit. So you will select project B. But understand one thing, you can't see only profit in the profitability though. Okay, so just understand, if you are going to calculate the rate of return, already I will teach you this topic later on. Just understand, if you are going to calculate rate of return on the project A, that will be equals to 10,000 upon 10,000. Just select, this is 1 lakhs and 2 lakhs. Okay, into 100. So now here you are getting rate of return as 1%. Okay, now here if you will calculate the rate of return for the project B, then you will get 15,000 divided by 2 lakhs into 100. So cancel it out. Here you are getting 7.5%. You are getting 7.5%. So rate of return in project B is 7.5%, and rate of return in project A is only 1%. Again, this comes project B is more attractive. Okay, project B is more attractive. Why? Because here you are getting rate of return is 7.5 and here you are getting rate of return is only 1%. So project B is more attractive, I think. Now understand one thing, I am taking another example. Okay, I am taking another example. Just change the money. Here, just understand one thing. Here you are going to invest 1 million and you are getting 15,000 profit per year. Here you have invested 10,000 rupees and you are getting 1 lakh rupees, and here you are getting 10,000 rupees per month. Now understand one thing. If you will see only profit per year, then definitely project B will be more attractive for you and you will go for the investment for the project B. But if you will see rate of return, then the rate of return parameters is for the project A, that is equals to 10,000 upon 1 lakhs into 100. So if you will cancel it out, then here you are getting 10% of rate of return. Okay, and here for project B, if you will see, then here I am just calculating rate of return for project B, that is equals to 15,000 upon into 100. 1.5%. My dear student, now understand one thing. There are two rate of return for A is 10%, rate of return for B is 1.5%. Now, if you will consider the rate of return parameter, then project A will be more attractive here. So, if you will analyze the investment, then there are various things. If you are only thinking about profit, then project B will be more important. Project B will be more attractive. But if you are thinking about rate of return, then project A will be more attractive. So this creates ambiguity in your mind that which is the best parameter. Okay. So this from the analysis of this data, I think it's very clear now for you all of you that only you can't rely on the profit. There are various parameters for a project that is going to discriminate whether which project is more attractive, which product is less attractive. So just don't rely on only profit. Okay. Now I am going to tell you the topics which we have to study in the profitability. Generally, primarily two types of method that we have to study in the profitability. Okay. There are different methods and that we have to study. Generally, we have to study two types of method. Okay. First method, that is, you can say it's a conventional method. Conventional, that does not use time value of money. First. Second method, which use time value of money. There are two different methods. Understand one thing. In conventional method, how many methods we have to study? Because there are different types of things. I will tell you this method, which types of parameter that relates this method, why we are using this conventional method, why we are using this method, that depends on the scenario. I am just writing here. First is rate of return. Okay. Or somewhere else it can be written as the rate of interest, ROR. Second method, payback period. Third is annualized cost. Fourth one is capitalized cost. Okay. So fifth one, average rate of return, and if you will see F, then that is net return. we don't try to study each and every method. Just I am writing here which is very important for the gate point of view. I will tell you later. But these are the methods that we have to study in the conventional method that does not consider time value of money. Now I am going to tell you the second method which consider time value of money, and first one that lies in this area, that is net present worth. Or net present value. Somewhere else you can see it as value. Okay, then NPV. Second, IRR, internal rate of return. Internal rate of return. Okay, so these are the things that we have to study in this topic. Okay, now the thing, if you will think about here, then the popularity of this method depends upon the size of company. Okay, because it's very difficult to judge which method we have to use. So the economics has given us the idea that the popularity of this method is gonna be depend on the size of industry. There are various types of industry. If you will see a small industry, medium size industry, large scale industry. Okay, that depends upon situation. That depends upon the various parameters in which way we have to categorize the different types of industry. But here we are going to study the profitability, and here we are dealing with the different method of the profitability. So where we use the different method, so that depends upon the size of the industry. Okay, just like understand, I am giving you a small example. If you will think 10% of a small industry, a small scale industry uses discounted cash flow rate of return %10 of a small industry uses discounted cash flow rate of return, and if you will see 80% of large industry uses discounted cash flow rate of return. Discounted cash flow rate of return. Okay. So understand why? Because it's an analysis. Economics has analyzed the different data for various industries. So he has found that 10% of a small industry is going to use the discounted cash flow rate of return. It is also comes in profitability analysis, and 80% of the large industry uses discounted cash flow rate of return. Okay, so that depends upon the size of the industry. Okay, because here you can say small scale industry, large scale industry, and we are going to deal with the help of profitability. Okay, so that was the method that we are going to use in the profitability analysis. Now I am going to discuss each and every method categorically. First we will start from rate of return. Okay, first I am going to start rate of return. Okay, so many questions each and every year. If you will see the previous year questions of GATE examination, then 3 to 4 questions that has been asked up to 2020 from rate of return. Okay, so it's a very important topic. So first there are some assumptions that is taken for the calculation of rate of return for the profitability analysis, and I am writing the first assumption here. You can write it as assumption. So if you will see the first assumption, it does not consider time value of money. If you will see the second topic, then second assumption, then you can, it does not consider the time value of money for second only. It is a point value. My dear student, I am just teaching you in the very systematic way. Each and every topic I have read and I am writing in this way so that you can remember it very easily, because sometimes if you will see in the PARC examination or another examination except from the gate, a small 1 marks question that can be asked from the definition or assumptions part, or in interview they can be asked all these types of things. Okay. Third, it is calculated on yearly basis, or you can say that, or for a very small interval of time. Okay, for a very small interval. So these three assumptions that has been taken by the economists for the calculation of rate of return. Understand one thing, it does not consider the time value of money. Already I have told you, this is not going to consider the time value of money. Means the parameter that we will study in the time value of money, that is not going to consider this method. It is a point value. Why it is a point value? Understand one thing, if you are going to calculate the rate of return, I am telling you the formula of rate of return, then it is related to the profit. If you will see the rate of return, then rate of return is equals to profit upon investment. In a simple way, if you want to define the rate of return, then that is profit upon total investment. Okay, that is the rate of return. Okay, now that is the profit in the numerator term of the rate of return. Okay, if you will see, each and every year profit is going to be changed. That profit depends upon the inflation and deflation of the money of the country, because the money value of money is going to be changed according to the inflation or deflation each and every year. So the profit is going to be changed each and every year for a plant. Okay, so if you will see here, then if profit is going to change, then what will happen? First year you will get another rate of return, second year you will get some another rate of return, third year you will get another rate of return. So it is a very confusing thing. So you can't calculate throughout the whole life period of the project for the rate of return. So it's better to calculate individual year, each and every year. We used to focus about the rate of return. Okay, that's why we used to call it as it's a point value. Why? Because you can't calculate the rate of return throughout for the whole life period of the plant. Okay, because that depends upon the profit. Already I told you, and if profit is going to be changed, then definitely rate of return will get changed. And how profit is going to be changed? Because each and every year the value of money is going to be changed. Okay, because it is a natural phenomenon. So due to deflation or inflation, that's why the rate of return is going to be changed. So the economics is very, or as a design engineer, we are very interested in calculating the value of rate of return for the yearly basis, each and every year. Okay, and now if you will see the profit, then that depends upon the cash flow. I will tell you the definition in the definition. There a term will come, that is cash flow, and that cash flow, or you can say the profit after tax. Okay, profit after tax. So profit after tax depends upon the depreciation. Okay, and if you have studied the topics depreciation, there are various types of terms that we have to study in the depreciation. And first one, straight line method, double decline method, sum of year, digital method, all these methods. But if you will see in the depreciation, only a straight line method used to give the depreciation value constant. Each and every year the depreciation calculated by a straight line method is constant. But if you are going to calculate the depreciation by the sum of year digital method, decline balance method, or double decline balance method, then you are going to, you will see there is a different value of depreciation every year. Okay, so again it is going to change the profit and profit after tax, and again the rate of return will get changed. So it's better to calculate the rate of return for whole life period. We people are more interested in calculating the rate of return for a particular year. That's why it is called as a point value. That's why I have written here, it is called as a point value. It is calculated only yearly basis for a very small interval of time. Already I have explained you. Okay, so these three were the major assumptions in this topic. Okay, now I am going to derive the derivation or formula for the rate of return, and how will we proceed about the question. Okay. So if you will see the formula of rate of return, simply I am defining it in this way: profit upon investment you can define it in the profit before tax upon FCI is equals to profit. You can't write in equals to form. Just there are different definition that depends upon your question, which is given in the question. I am writing it in this way: profit before tax upon total capital investment, that is equals to profit before tax upon fixed capital investment. If profit before tax is given and FCI or TCI is given, then you have to use this formula. Okay. Now, if you will see, that is rate of return, that is equals to profit after tax upon fixed capital investment, or you can write it in the profit after tax upon total capital investment. Okay. When will you use this formula? When profit after tax is given, I will tell you how we will calculate the profit after tax. And if FCI is given and profit after tax you have calculated, or there is a flexibility in the question that you can calculate the profit after tax, then from there you can calculate rate of return from this formula as well. Now, if profit after tax you can calculate, then TCI is given total capital investment, then you can calculate this formula. Okay, from this formula. Now, next formula for rate of return, that can come from taxable profit upon FCI. Anything can be happen. Taxable profit upon TCI. Okay, these are the formula that we have to calculate in the rate of return. Okay. Now, understand one thing. How will we calculate? Just understand one thing. If you think about total capital investment, that is equal to fixed capital plus variable capital. Where will you use? If variable cost is also given or fixed capital is also given, then you have to use the formula of TCI. And that he is suggesting that use TCI. Okay. Now understand one thing. If only income is given and investment is given or expenditure is given, if only these two terms is given in the question, then you will calculate profit is equals to income minus expenditure. Income minus expenditure. Okay. From here you can calculate the profit, and if there is a flexibility for the calculation of total capital investment, then you can calculate rate of return is equals to profit upon total capital investment. If total capital investment is not given, then you can calculate that profit upon fixed capital investment. Okay, anything. That depends upon your data of in your question, which is given. Either only fixed capital is given, then you have to divide with the fixed capital, then it will give the rate of return. Okay. Now, understand one thing. Profit before tax. We are talking about profit before tax. Okay. How will we calculate profit before tax? Now, understand. Generally, we used to calculate profit before tax. That is equals to income minus expenditure. Income minus expenditure. Okay. Now, if you want to calculate tax paid, then you can calculate it in the way profit before tax multiplied with 5, and where 5 is tax rate, understand, this is a tax rate. Okay, 5 will be tax rate. Now, if you want to calculate taxable profit, so taxable profit is equals to, you are going to be subtract profit before tax. Okay, profit before tax minus, just calculate the profit after tax. Profit after tax, that is equals to PBT minus, if you want to calculate tax paid, then it will be equals to PBT minus depreciation. Okay. So these things. Now, just understand one thing. How will we calculate these things? Okay. So generally we have calculated PBT. Now I am writing here. PBT, that is equals to income minus expenditure. Okay. So if you want to calculate taxable profit, that is equals to PBT minus depreciation. I am writing that is depreciation. Okay. Now if you want to calculate tax paid that is equals to taxable profit multiplied with 5, where I am defining 5 equals to tax rate. Okay, 5 equals to tax rate. Now, if you want to calculate profit after tax, then you can calculate it as taxable profit minus of tax paid. So, you have calculated taxable profit. Taxable profit that is equals to PBT minus depreciation. PBT minus depreciation minus tax paid. Tax paid is equals to taxable profit into 5. So, you can write it as PBT minus depreciation into 5. So, if you will calculate, then it will be, you can get PBT minus depreciation multiplied with 1 minus 5. Okay. So, if you want to write the definition or formula of profit after tax, my dear students, it's important thing, just understand one thing. So, if you want to write profit after tax, so profit after tax is equals to profit before tax minus depreciation PBT into 1 minus 5. That is the formula of PBT. PAT, profit after tax. I am just writing here profit after tax, and here it is profit before tax, and here it will be tax rate. So it will be given in the question, tax rate will be given in the question, depreciation will be given in the question. If depreciation is not given, then you can calculate the depreciation by different method. If the question is providing you the flexibility of calculation of depreciation by asset line method, decline balance method, double decline balance method, or sum of year adjustment, depends upon the scenario which types of data is given in the question. Okay. So I think up to this you can calculate the profit after tax. Now, one term that is more important here, how will we calculate the cash flow? Cash flow is only profit after tax plus depreciation. Here it is depreciation. So in this way you can calculate the profit cash flow. Okay. So this was the various formula that I have derived here for the calculation of rate of return. Now I am going to discuss about the cumulative rate of return. So I think up to this point it's very clear now. In the next lecture I will discuss about the cumulative rate of return. So just go through the video, and I will be discussing lots of number of questions for regarding GATE examination, or various types of different questions about the profitability. Okay, so just try to see the video first. So thank you.